Peace. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Queen L from Queen L LLC. Now, today's video is regarding the full Sturgeon Supermoon that is taking place on August 1st. Now, what is a full Sturgeon Supermoon? So, supermoons are moons that are closer to Earth than they typically are. So, there are different parameters that NASA has. Essentially, a moon looks larger and brighter when it is a supermoon. So if you've ever seen the moon and you're like, whoa, the moon looks so close, it looks so bright, that's usually a supermoon. Now, what makes this moon a sturgeon moon is because of the time of year. So Native Americans coined that name for this type of moon. It's this time of year that the sturgeon fish is known to be more abundant. And also, this is considered a sturgeon moon because this is the one of two full moons that we will have in the month of August. And the last time this happened was in 2021. Since the full moon occurs around every 29 days, it just depends on the timing of whether or not this happens. But it does happen every now and then where there are two full moons in the same month. And the full moon that we have at the end of August occurs on August 30th. That one actually will be even closer than this moon. And the moon that's occurring on August 1st is the second of 4 supermoons that are back to back. So the one that's at the end of this month is even closer to Earth, and that one will be the blue moon. But back to this moon. So this is called the Sturgeon moon. This moon is taking place at approximately 1:32 p.m. Central Time on August 1st, and this full moon is in the sign of Aquarius. Please note that we are currently in the shadow period, as the shadow period occurs in the few days leading up to the full moon, as well as the few days after the full moon. So approximately a week long, we have this energy that is taking place from this full moon. Please note, because the moon transitions approximately every 2 days from one zodiac sign to the next, to definitely tap into the Capricorn energy, because this moon is in the sign of Capricorn until the evening of July 31st, and we have other Capricorn energy that's taking place right now. And then at that time, that evening before the 1st, the moon moves into the sign of Aquarius. Please note that the full moon is also conjunct the planet of Pluto until around 11:30 p.m. Central Time on July 31st. And what does that mean? So Pluto is currently in retrograde, and with Pluto being in the sign of Capricorn and the moon being in the sign of Capricorn on July 31st, that conjunct energy is a great synergy of them working together. And it's just very beneficial for us overall, because Pluto is the planet of rebirth, regeneration, renewal, elevation. And right now, with Pluto being in retrograde, it is a time for us to just to reset, to refresh, to think back on how we have grown, the path that we've taken in recent months, recent years, as Pluto is a generational and transformational planet. But then thinking about the energy of the moon working with Pluto in retrograde. And the moon is all about working on our emotions and tapping into the root of who we really are on the inside. So definitely work with that synergy through the evening of July 31st. And then when the moon transitions into Aquarius, we'll tap into that Aquarian energy, especially because Pluto will ultimately be in the age of Aquarius as it entered a little earlier this year. Also, as I check my notes, this aspect of the moon in Capricorn being conjunct Pluto retrograde in Capricorn on the evening of July 31st, that aspect is taking place at actually around 9:12 p.m. Central Time. So definitely tap into that energy the evening of the 31st as we move into the moon transitioning into its full moon status for August 1st, and then also moving into the sign of Aquarius for the moon. Now, as I look over at my notes, we have also taking place July 31st, entering into the 1st. We have the moon opposing the sun in Leo and squaring Jupiter in Taurus on August 1st. Now, definitely check out my weekly video and you'll see more information about what we can expect the first week of August. But for this aspect specifically, one thing to note is Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus. They are all fixed signs. So there is a bit of stagnant energy. So if you're feeling that, now everyone won't feel it. I would say to definitely check your planetary placements in your chart. If you have any of these fixed signs present in your chart in specific areas, that's the area that you will probably feel this energy. We all have all signs in our chart, even if they're just aligned to a house versus the actual planetary body. But definitely check out where you have those planetary alignments, where you have those fixed signs in your chart. If you have a chart that is heavy with fixed sign energy, it has a lot of that Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus energy, then you may feel more of this stuck in the mud energy because that's really heavy right now. Also, Venus retrograde is in Leo, so the things that you enjoy, you're starting to revisit those things. You're starting to revamp your self-care routine. And if you are opposed to change, if you're inflexible, if you're unable to adapt or to move or to go with the flow, if you're deficient in water sign energy in your chart, then this may feel a bit, like somebody's pushing you in a direction that you don't want to go in. It may feel a bit, you may feel some angst with regard to the change that's taking place around you and within you. So that's just something to be mindful of because it's necessary. We have to go sometimes in order to grow. Now, also a note that I made is you might feel stuck in a situation that you don't want to be in. And it doesn't necessarily mean, because there is this retrograde going on with Venus, it doesn't mean that you necessarily should move because you feel that way. Sometimes there's just work to be done. And instead of just running or retreating or falling back to avoid any type of conflict that you may see in front of you that you may be faced with, sometimes it's important to just work through it, to just get down to the root cause of it and figure it out and then do something about it. There's work to be done with all of us. Then the last note that I have also is you may feel like you're unable to express how you truly feel inside. And that's that moon opposing the sun energy. I do discuss that some more at length in my weekly video for the first week of August. But also you may feel misunderstood because there is some Mercury energy that's taking place, some aspects that are a bit adverse for the early part of the first week of August. So stay tuned for that in my weekly video, but that is what I wanted to tell you. So if you feel any of that energy that I mentioned, I'm not able to give you the solution to the issues. Just know that there's a reason why you feel that way, and it's not just at face value of what you see in front of you. It has also a lot to do with just the energy that's taking place just outside of us. It's not all within us, okay? Now, if you have a lot of fixed sign energy in your chart, then it's a bit of both. So you just need to recognize that, be discerning in the role that you play in what you're experiencing in life right now as well, okay? As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the comment section. If you would like me to analyze your chart or provide any additional astrology services, my booking link is in the description box. Thank you so much for joining me today. Peace. Ashe.